What's up, everybody? This is The Life You Have with Tez. That's me. And we're going to talk about good money saving advice for the year 2020. But before we get into that, make sure you tap on that like button. And if you so please, could you please subscribe to the channel? If you already are subscribed, could you hit that bell notification icon? I would really appreciate it very much so. Let's get into it. So let's talk about some good financial tips to live by. These can help you out tremendously because they're time tested and they're kid friendly and they're mother approved, just like kicks. Okay, number one, don't live above your means. That means if you only make $2,000 a month, do not try to spend $2,200. This is a given. This should be very, very easy. If you don't make enough, then you don't need to spend over it. A good rule of thumb, if you make $2,000, you should probably only be spending about half of that. That way you can put away a bit of it. Let's say if you're only spending 1,000 of it, then that means that another 500 you can throw in your savings, and the other 500 you might be able to afford to throw it inside of an investment account. $500 goes a very long way. You can also throw it in a REIT. Fundrise will give you, it's $500, but you will probably make that money back within the year. So it makes it a pretty good investment. Plus you still got 500 as a safety net inside of your savings. I think that's pretty good. I think that's doable. Need to go any harder than that. Call your cell phone company. This one is tricky though, because you could pay more than you actually intended while you're actually trying to break your cell phone contract, because they could talk you into all sorts of stuff, or they can get you in something else. But, if you're at the end of your contract, what you could do is go to another provider, or you can get bought out of your contract by another provider. That's completely up to you. That's why I said it's tricky, because another provider could buy you out, but that provider might still want their money, or they won't let you go. It happened to me. I went to another company when I was at the end of my actual contract with Verizon, and they still sent me to collections anyway, even though the other provider was supposed to buy me out of the contract, because, well, some people are just bitter like that. But I would say go prepaid. Once I went prepaid, my life became a whole lot simpler. I have Cricket Wireless right now, and me and my wife together for unlimited talk, text, and data, we only pay $80 a month. That's right. That means that's $40 between the two of us for 2 lines of unlimited stuff. Where else are you gonna get that from? Maybe Boost Mobile or something. I don't know. They're prepaid as well. But the point is, we also use AT&T satellite. I have yet to have a spot where I just do not have a signal. I do a lot of traveling. I go a lot of places. But when I had T-Maybe, I definitely didn't have any kind of signal at all. And I was paying more for what I actually had. And when I was paying that amount at Verizon, I was only getting 2 gigs of data per actual line. So me and my wife were paying $80 a piece for 2 gigs of data. Yeah, so you can quickly see unlimited is the way to go, especially if you are using a prepaid service. You just bring the phone that you have, because if you like the phone that you got anyway, and it's still relatively good, then go ahead and bring it over. They'll port it right over for you. No ifs, ands, or buts. They're not sponsoring me, by the way. I just like their service. Okay, here's another one. This is a really good piece of advice. This is number 3. Have a good friend. Life is hard enough, but it's even harder when you're stupid and you're alone. At least when you have a friend, they can help point out the dumbness that's all around you. They can help take care of you and all that stuff. I said a friend, not an acquaintance, not a homie, not a dun, not a whatever it is that you want to call your homeboy that is not a friend. I mean, a friend, that one person that's going to stick by you when all of the other people have left you. That one person. Even the Bible says, you might have a bunch of people that are really cool with you, but there is one that sticks together like a brother. And that is a true friend right there. And very few people are blessed and fortunate to have those friends, because a lot of people don't want to listen to their friends. They just want them to agree with everything. Your friend's not made to agree with you. That's why they're your friend. Your friend is there to like some of the same stuff as you, but they're there to keep you on track, make you a better person. If your friends are all doing the same dumbness that you're doing, because let's face it, you are the sum total of 5 of your friends. So if you hang out with losers, you're going to be a loser. If you hang out with winners, chances are you're going to be a winner, because winners don't like to hang with losers. But losers like to hang with anybody because they don't really know any better. So have a good friend. They'll keep you on track financially, and they'll make sure that you're doing the right thing. They'll call you up and say, hey, did you spend that $100 that you said you were going to put in savings? Oh, you did? Well, that makes you stupid. They're going to tell you that type of stuff. You need to hear it. You need to hear the blunt, honest truth from people who care about you. It's not hating, because they care about your professional and personal growth. Number 4, the best time to save was 10 years ago. The second best time is now. You're older now. You're always older, but you should be ready now. You should know more than you did yesterday, last week, last year, last month, whatever. You already lost 10 years, and those 10 years are not promised to you. They're not guaranteed, but you got them anyway. So now that you know that you're still here, why not make the most of your life that you got? Why not put your money away, store it up? The Bible says that a wise man stores up money for his children's children. You know, that's a long time. That is 3 generations of people that are benefiting off one person's financial sacrifice. Think about that. So how much should you save? Well, some people say 10%. I'd say go towards 10 to 20%. If you can do 11, if you can do 15, if you do 14, it doesn't matter. As long as you throw that money into some savings, that's what's called paying yourself. When you pay yourself first, you look at your 10% of your gross, not your net. But if you don't have it like that, that you can get it out of your gross, go ahead and take it out of your net. What I mean by your gross is, let's say you grossly make $3,000. And let's say that your net is $2,700. Well, okay, let's just say 10% of that $2,700 is $270. Go ahead and take that $270, because that's the net. Take that 10% and throw it into your savings account. Easy. And then if you got that other 10% of that, go ahead and throw another $270, because if you're gonna go to 20%, you might as well. But go ahead and throw your other 10%. I'm a religious guy. I believe that if you give your tithes, it's always gonna come back to you. So your other 2% of that, it's gonna be another $270. Throw that other $270 into your tithes for your local church, or to some kind of charitable Christian or whatever organization that's going to help somebody, and they're going to be able to benefit from it. Trust me, it'll come back to you, but it is going to make you feel better about yourself. And it might come back to you in another way. I don't know what your situation is, but I just know it'll come back to you. I've had a lot of things where I just gave some money away just freely. Charity water. They build wells for people in impoverished nations, and it provides this little machine that purifies the water so it's not gunked up. It's actually fresh drinking water that they can actually drink from. I've given to them. I've given the Children's Miracle Network. I've given to St. Jude's Hospital. Not only does it make you feel better about yourself, but you're also doing something positive for somebody else. Okay, here's kind of an off tip. What is this, number 5? Okay, keep your car tires inflated to a good range. So if your max PSI, which is on the tire, it's gonna tell you max PSI when you look at your tires. This is easy. If it says 50, then you wanna make sure all your tires, as long as all your tires are the same brand and the same make. Hopefully you do that, instead of if one tire goes out, then you just buy a random tire. Hopefully it's not a used tire, because used tires are a horrible, bad investment for you. Don't do it. If they're all the same tire, then keep all your tires at 45 to 48. You don't want to max out your tire, because that's how you get cracks in it, especially if you leave it parked out in direct sunlight. You're only hurting your tires. So you want to leave them underinflated, but not too underinflated. Just like when you're driving in the winter, you want to actually deflate your tires some more, give yourself more traction on the road and all that stuff. I hope somebody explains this to you, because I'm not a car guy, but I know how to drive in some snowy conditions because I've had to. You want to lower your tire in the winter time and all that stuff to like 30, 35, and you want to actually increase your PSI. You want to keep that range to around 45 to 48 if your max is 50. It saves on gas mileage because think about it. It's like you running with a hurt ankle. You're not going to be able to run as far because you're using more energy to do the same amount of work. If your ankle wasn't hurt, then you're healthy and you're pretty good. You're running on the same ankle strength as the other ankle. So you're gonna be able to run further and you're gonna be able to do it faster and harder than you would as if you were not hurt. It's the same concept. Bonus points if you actually get your air filter changed out as well, because changing your air filter is actually going to help you get more miles to the gallon because of the fact that your air filter gets really, really gunked up the more you use it, especially if you're not using the circulating air. So what happens is your air filter gets all the like leaves and the bugs and all the other stuff that just gets sucked into your airline when you're driving and all that stuff. And it gets gunked up over time and it starts to affect the way how much fuel you get in your car. It's kind of like if you were wearing the face covering and you decide you want to go run 2 miles or whatever, you can't breathe as well because there's something covering your face and it's not supposed to be there. So what happens? You get tired faster. But if you took that mask off and you ran 2 miles, it would be natural to you, especially if you're already used to running 2 miles. Okay, here's another tip for you. Number 6. Stay focused. If you can't keep your head in the game, you'll forget why you're even doing what you're doing in the first place. And if you can't remember why you're doing it, I don't know, you're gonna be slave to always doing what you're doing. Remember this, we are here to stack checks and break necks. Do you really wanna live in debt? Don't you remember what it was like to grow up having to do the things that poor people do and you were so envious of people who had nice shoes, nice clothes, nice car? They didn't have to sit on each other's lap in the back seat because your parents only had a 2-door car with 3 kids. So y'all gotta lay down whenever the police come and all that stuff. Do you wanna live like that? Do you want that life? I don't think you do. Keep that in the back of your mind. Would you want your kids doing it? The stuff that you grew up doing, do you think that's the best life for your kids to be doing? If the answer is no, then let's get to it. Make it happen. Here's an oldie but a goodie. Your mom probably told it to you. If you can't afford it, put it back. Every time I used to ask my mom something, she always used to be like, you got whatever money? Mom, can I have some Jordans? You got Jordan money? You got McDonald's money? I could never get anything PlayStation 2 money because even though I'd ask for that PlayStation, it would be on layaway forever, indefinitely. She was right. Think about it. If you don't have the money for it, don't get it. Don't worry about it. It'll come back to you. They say if you got a purchase that you really want and you don't have the money for it, you know you don't need it, then sit on it for 3 days. If you still want this thing, you got a burning desire to get it after 3 days, because that means obviously you just cannot live without it. Take care of yourself, right? This is a slippery slope. You gotta be careful because taking care of yourself can go sideways real fast. You budget your small things, then if it lines up with your budget and you can afford to swing it, go ahead and do it. If you can't, don't do it. Keep your little small things budget to like $25 or less. If you budgeted $25 to buy little small stuff here or there, then yes, you can either flip that, which means take that $25, throw it somewhere, throw it in a stock, throw it in an index fund, throw it in an ETF. I don't care what you do with that $25, but if you spend it, it's gone. You already spent it on the thing. So if you have a burning desire to get this thing and it's $25 or less, get it. If you don't, then take the $25 and put it somewhere else. Have some integrity. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Yeah, we stack checks, we break necks, and we all do this to get some respect. But if you can't keep your word, then you will fall short at staying out of debt. And that's not cool. Short story, before I went to basic, I went to church with my dad once, and that was this prophet who used to be a pimp, go figure. So he was talking some stuff, I don't even remember. Then this girl comes walking to church. The church was already good and well into it. We were probably about to get out of church when she walked into church. So anyway, he stops his message. He's like, get out of here because you've been using my money to, do this crazy stuff under the unction of God. We gave you this money from the church's funds to get yourself an apartment for you and your son to get taken care of, get away from these drugs, get away from this boyfriend that's been beating you. But you just took a shower with this man and the Spirit of the Lord told me this, and you thought that you were just gonna come walking in the church and ask for some more money, didn't you? And she was like, yes, I did. This is for real, I'm out of here. It's just because she was just fooking up the church's money. Be honest. If somebody gives you a $2,000 grant to do something with or make something happen, do what you say that you're gonna do. If you say, hey man, I'm gonna double your money on return, you better make sure you can double somebody's money, because people don't play about their money. If somebody gives you something, you better fix it. You better do what you said that you're gonna do. Conversely, if you don't do it, just be prepared for the consequences. Be honest with yourself as well. Because if you're not honest with yourself, if somebody gives you $2,000, you're not gonna do what you said you're gonna do with that $2,000, because you're lying in the first place. You just wanted $2,000 from somebody. But do the right thing. Let your yeses be yeses and your no's be no's. But that's all I got for you guys today. This is The Life You Have with Quatez. That's me. If you guys like this video, go ahead and tap that like button. And if you could, if this video brought you some kind of entertainment or something valuable to you, please hit the subscribe button or share it with your friends. Leave me a comment down below if you liked anything out of this, or if you have any kind of good money saving advice for the good of the colony. My name is Tez. Peace out.